Live, my BFF Keyan. Howdy doody, Keyan.
Hi, howdy.
How was your week?
It was pretty good, I think. Yeah, it was amazing, actually. Yeah, man, so many cool things happened. Just trying to remember them all. There were just so many, like having to think through all the things that happened. I think I came into work every day, and then I was on a computer.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
What is that like these days?
Oh, yeah. It's like we have these screens that emit a bunch of colors in high density.
I could see that.
And yeah, they help you communicate with people around the world.
Yeah.
That's what it's like being on one of those all day. And that's what I usually do. Yeah, it was so good. Couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. How was your week?
It was busy. A lot
Yeah.
of stuff going on. I feel like I was juggling like 7 different things.
Wow.
You know what though? Like you really can juggle a lot of things at once. Like when you're tested to the limit, you can juggle a lot.
Yeah. If you
Like sometimes the mind is a mountain, but sometimes when you're asked to climb it, you could do it.
Metaphors going on here.
You could
juggling mountains.
you could definitely climb the mountain. That is your mind sometimes.
Oh yeah, for sure. We adapt. We can adapt.
It's fun. It's fun too. It's kind of fun. It reinvigorates you sometimes, you know. But I saw Predator this week.
The new one.
The new one. Yeah.
Is it good?
Dude. Yeah. I mean, you could tell it's for Gen Z, so maybe take your kids or something, or your teenager.
What does it mean? That it's for Gen Z to
like you could. It's not like it's not for our age.
What does that mean though?
It just means that. I mean, I enjoyed it, but you know, I'm also a person that likes watching films and movies and stuff, so I'm already gonna be bought in. So there's that.
That's a lot of people. They like
no, I feel like most people don't go to the theaters anymore. I feel like that's a thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's definitely true. If you people go to theaters.
Like I enjoy going to the theater. Like I watched Tron. Remember I told you I watched Tron and I watched it and I knew how dumb it was. I knew that it was just a stupid roller coaster ride, but I enjoyed it. Yeah.
But I'm just curious, how do you categorize a movie to be for Gen Z? What happens in the movie?
I think you can tell like it's a new spin. It's a new spin on the Predator series, and it's not for our generation because it's not. Like, remember the Arnold Schwarzenegger one and then the Danny Glover one? And it was like super violent, super surreal, very graphic. I think there's all sorts of crazy stuff in there.
So this new one isn't as brutal.
No, this new one is actually really cool. It's like it turns it into an actual, like, I mean, I don't want to spoil it, but just go watch it. It's a very slow, it's a very slow thing in the beginning. It's like slow, at least to me it was. Probably not to people that, you know, but like to me it was very slow. And then somewhere like a quarter way through, it just like picks up and it was just like, whoa, this is great. And then the ride just kept going. And there's so many Easter eggs, dude, and I won't give that away, where I'm just like, oh, this is so cool. Like, because I'm just a fan of all that lore and stuff. So anyways, that was the highlight of my week, seeing Predator. Badlands.
Sounds like a good time.
Yeah. Anyways, if you've never seen this crazy show before, it's called Stacker.News Live. It's people are still subscribing. Stop subscribing to this show. Seriously.
They're not really.
Hit unsubscribe. Hit unsubscribe. No, because they're even watching it more. It's kind of annoying. They're watching it more and they're subscribing, which is stupid. Unsubscribe. You can still watch it, but just don't subscribe. Because the most popular video that we had last week was the Project Alexandria, the one that I brought up. Remember about the copyright stuff?
Oh, right.
Turns out people want to hear about that stuff. Coob.
Oh, I guess they do. I wouldn't have said otherwise. But.
Also, I was right here. No one cares about BitChat. Look, we got 19 views. Or no one cares about our opinion on BitChat.
Yeah, there's that. And then I think the people who are using BitChat, they're all in the middle of.
And look, no one cares about fake L2 scam. Like, see, no one cares about this stuff. Like, this is what I'm saying. Like being on YouTube has shown me that the vast majority of people don't care about the things that we argue about as Bitcoiners. It's just It's the truth.
Well, yeah, I think that's why all of the major podcasters, some of them don't even cover Bitcoin exclusively anymore, or they just mostly talk about like the stock market.
Look, they care about the graphene stuff. They care about the Antichrist. They care about the fall of the empire. They care about the IMF and finding Bitcoin in a dumpster. That's what they care about.
Pretty much any other subject we could cover would interest people more.
It's really fascinating.
Bitcoin.
But yeah, hit unsubscribe. Don't subscribe because it's like drawing too much attention.
Maybe we should turn this into a political podcast where we we talk about Bitcoin bills.
That would trigger Vake so bad. Imagine how triggered Vake would get if we just talked about politics.
Yeah, I don't know. Well,
I don't know anything about politics though.
Yeah, but we also don't know much about Bitcoin.
You know, a little bit. Anyways, let's jump into the top stories this week. We cover the top 3 every week here on Stacker.News. What's the new slogan?
24/7 Bitcoin meetup on a website.
Ouch, but we're gonna make it work. I'll remember that at some point.
It's not really a verbal one. It's more meant for reading.
Oof. So it's okay. We'll grow into that.
Where we delve into Bitcoin.
We'll grow into it. Anyways, number 3 top story of the week, Rant. If you think 50-year mortgages is debt slavery, you don't understand money. This is from Simple Stacker, November 12th, econ territory. 76 comments, 3,162 cents. Keyan, what is this?
Yeah, I guess Trump flirted with the idea of introducing a 50-year mortgage. I think most mortgages, I would guess, in the United States are 30-year mortgages, meaning a bank gives you a bunch of money and you're expected to pay it back over 30 years. I think there's a lot of 15-year and 10-year mortgages, maybe even some 5-year and commercial. But yeah, it looks like in order to help the housing affordability thing and stuff like that, Trump, I don't know, he probably just like tweeted this out or something, and said something about 50-year mortgages. And then most of social media kind of had a meltdown. A lot of people on the liberal side were like, this is, just assisting the banks, helping the banks turn us into slaves and stuff. And this is what Simple Stacker is ranting about, is that a 50-year mortgage, like the market doesn't offer a 50-year mortgage because it puts the bank at a significant disadvantage. There's no rational reason why a bank would introduce a 50-year mortgage, because the money that gets paid back to the bank is worth significantly less in 50 years, probably roughly half or more than half of what it was worth when the loan was taken out. So it's actually not in the interest of the banks to do a 50-year mortgage. And what likely happens, I think we even do this with a lot of 30-year mortgages, is the government is subsidizing or providing protections to the banks that are lending them out, such that more people can have access to these long-term mortgages. So especially as a Bitcoiner, I mean, we know a lot of Bitcoiners who take out loans, who take out loans against their Bitcoin in order to get access to fiat without selling their Bitcoin. And because maybe the loan terms are like 10% a year, they expect Bitcoin's price to rise faster than that. And so in many ways, this is a boon to consumers and a problem for banks. If a 50, I think that, and Simple Stacker's point is like, if you want to be upset about this change, be upset that it's likely the taxpayer who ends up paying for these mortgages, because they don't make economic sense. And it's a good point. But yeah, he's basically said he would take if they offered a 50-year mortgage, he would take one, because he knows he can, especially at a good interest rate, because he knows he could apply that. Yeah. He could deploy that money better and earn more.
I feel like we talk about this like every 3 or 4 months. I feel like this is like a continuous Stacker News top story, or Stacker News Live top story every few, or I feel like it's about it per quarter, I would say. Usually when rates go down or rates go up, we get one of these posts like, what do y'all think about mortgages? Like it's like a pulse test for the stackers on the site. I'm gonna say the same thing I said last time. It's like everybody's different. Everybody's situation's different. I don't think it's the same thing as, I think the United States is probably its own little separate thing going on here when it comes to mortgages and all these different types of options and vehicles that they have for this stuff. I would imagine if you go to a different country, you probably get better deals. I don't know. I feel like that's probably true. What do you think?
No, I'm not so sure that's the case. I think the layout of a lot of these financial services are the same regardless of the country you go to. To the extent that they're different as a result of either regulation or subsidy. But the market tends to converge, and we have like, global information networks. So if there's anything best practice that's done in one country, it's likely applies in another unless the government is somehow.
What if you were like in Paraguay or something and you bought land and then you got local workers to build your thing, like, and you already had that money saved? Wouldn't you save more money that way or no?
No. Well, if you have to sell Bitcoin, the point is like, okay, so that house in Paraguay that you're building is like, say it's $100,000 US. You have to sell 1 Bitcoin to build that house. Instead, you can get a loan for $100,000 from a Paraguay bank and not have to sell that Bitcoin. Instead, pay back an inflationary currency.
Yeah, but it really is kind of the way you look at it, though, Keyan. Like, I mean, you're not actually. I mean, it's not. I mean, I don't want to go down this rabbit hole, but just to say, the money doesn't exist in that sense. Like the dollars don't actually exist because they're just printing the dollars, and it's like the time, right? It's like they're just taking away. They're just taking. I mean, we all know it's the game, right? But like, you're trading your store value, your Bitcoin for the house at the end of the day, right? If you're a Bitcoiner and you're buying a house at $100,000 in Paraguay to build your citadel or whatever, you're effectively trading all that time, energy, and money that you put into holding that Bitcoin for that Paraguay house or whatever. I'm not saying there's a right or wrong or situation for this. I'm just saying that like that's the mental mountain that I'm grappling in my head when I'm trying to climb through this kind of thing that we see every quarter. It looks like every time we get this question, because I hear his point. I understand his point. I understand it. It's just the mountain that's in my head that it's like I cannot let that go. If that makes any sense.
I think a lot of people are like that. I personally don't like debt. I don't like the mental burden of having debt. I don't like having to owe people money. It's not worth it for me, even if there is some like advantage to say taking out a loan instead of like selling assets or whatever. But in many ways, I'd just prefer to sell the assets so that I don't have to think about this like external thing that's going on. I know everything is like taken care of. And so that's
what I'm saying. That's what I always go back to. I feel like everybody's situation is different. Like everybody has a family, or you might not have a family, or you might be single, or like, I feel like everybody's situation is different and they look at it effectively differently than everybody else's.
Certainly true. I can't argue with that. But I think there are things to say about these mortgages, and if people are developing opinions on them, they should try to develop an opinion that reflects the economic reality, I think, is Simple Stacker's point.
Yeah. Cool stuff, man. We'll see this in February. Stay tuned. This will be another post, just in a different form, because we'll see it again. Are they lowering rates next month, or did they figure that out? I haven't been on Twitter.
I don't really know.
Okay.
I imagine that they're moving rates up and down however they want, as they usually.
Oh, okay. Is Powell still the guy, or is it somebody else now?
I don't know, but I haven't heard that it's someone other than Powell.
All right. Somebody comment in the show notes. Let me know. The next top story is past transactions that violate BIP 444 redundant data temporary soft fork rules. That's a mouthful. Scoresby, November 12th, Bitcoin territory, 18 comments, 10,000 sats, all forwarded to Monadical. Yeah. Way to go, Scoresby. Who's Monadical?
Monadical is a space monkey who posts on X.
Wow, that's amazing. Good job, Scoresby. Got him 10,000 sats.
Yeah.
Cool. So what do we got here, Keyan?
Yeah. So Monodical went through and looked at past transactions that would violate BIP 444's like data reduction.
And what's bit 444? Sorry to cut you off.
BIP
Just
444 is a soft fork that is proposed by people in the Knots camp.
so are we still at a place where we're arguing about core versus not? I
Yes,
thought this got fixed.
lots of people are arguing about it still.
I thought this got fixed when we decided on a central. What were we talking about the week before? About somebody was working on a consensus engine.
Yes.
So that didn't get
Bitcoin kernel.
Yeah, didn't help move the conversation into
other things. No, I think it's gotten to the filter debate has gotten to the point where the people who I think are pro filters are now advocating for this temporary data reduction soft fork to Bitcoin. So Luke and Bitcoin Mechanic and Chris Guida, the people who are very pro filter, are now in support. I think even Super are now in support of this soft fork that restricts data usage on Bitcoin
to just monetary,
to monetary, but not for future transactions, for past ones too. So
how would you do that?
I think the point is to punish. I think it might be to punish people. I don't really. So what they end up doing is they basically freeze funds for a year that are UTXOs with certain kinds of transactions. So
freeze funds. How do you freeze funds?
You make them unspendable.
Which funds are they freezing?
That's what this post goes into. All of the transaction types that they end up describing in this BIP that they want to prevent from being spendable.
Mm-hmm.
Monodical went through all the past transactions and found transactions that would become unspendable under this soft fork proposal's conditions. And it ends up being, I think, like over 100 million transactions would be unspendable, or would have an output that is unspendable in them. Yeah.
This is just in time for conference season next year. Hopefully this will get really spicy. And then by the time we get to February, March, this will be just in time for conference season.
Yeah.
Then all the conference organizers can cash in on this. This should be good. Cheers to that.
Well, I guess.
Cheers. I mean, think about all the money. Think about all the money that's going to be made from this.
Why would there be money made from it?
Controversy. Keyan sells.
I don't know. I think this is like.
Oh, here goes Topher.
I think it's.
Here we go. Here we go. Hang on. Let me get Topher in here.
I think this is mostly killing every Bitcoiner's boner.
It's okay. Hey, I'm just trying to make a joke, but apparently it didn't land well.
Are you gonna run Bet 444?
Oh wait, our thing is blurry now. Dang it! I think that threw this off.
Okay.
Thank you.
Or oh no, what were they calling it? Like Bitcoin Cash Junior?
Yeah, I call it Bitcoin Karen, but
okay. All right, Topher, what do you got on this?
Do you want to move this? Or
no, it just threw off the focus though. Just put it right there. Just put it right there.
Okay.
Throw off the focus. It still threw off the focus.
I can move it out of frame.
Yeah, just move it out of frame. It throws off the focus. So what do you think about this? Because Keyan just said that they're trying to freeze. This can't be right. I mean, this can't be right. They're not trying to freeze stuff, are they?
I've seen Luke.
Really? They're trying to freeze my coins, bro. They're freezing my coins.
You're not a real Bitcoin user, so they're not freezing real Bitcoin users' funds. That's basically what they say.
So they're gonna freeze my coins? That sounds like fake news, man. Are you sure this is not the Bugle that we're listening to here?
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like satire, but I believe it is legitimate. This is what they are advocating for.
This sounds like this sounds like Bugle news. Complete false stuff.
It's become sort of a parody of themselves.
This can't be real.
It's real, dude.
So can you explain it, Topher? Just real quick, what's going on?
I don't really follow this because I'm just checked out of all of the drama. But I think Luke wants to fork Bitcoin so that he can add restrictions consensus level restrictions to Bitcoin script and just disable a bunch of stuff. And one of the things that he wanted to disable, I think, was like the depth at which you could spend from a taproot tree.
Yeah.
And I think when he made that declaration that he's going to do that, he didn't think that there was any actual use cases of practice of people that actually had valid Bitcoin scripts that were spending from that depth.
Yeah.
And then independent people went out and like, oh no, well, there's this transaction, there's this transaction, there's this transaction.
Yes.
And so instead of being like, oh, well, I don't know, he had a couple of responses to that. I saw some where he's just doubling down and saying people are using Bitcoin wrong.
Yeah.
I saw another one where it's like, well, this is the reason why like we have like a review process and why this is still like in active development. So if you're not involved in that process, which is happening over on the Knots GitHub, I guess. So if you're not there actively involved in the process, then it's also your fault. So it basically like boils down to it's your fault if your Bitcoin gets confiscated.
I love Bitcoiners.
Well, I think
I love us so much. This
the other
is
defense
great.
against these rules being
Oh,
kind of
man.
loose and freezing a bunch of funds is like, well, they're only frozen for a year. The whole point of this is a temporary software. We're only freezing them for a year in preparation for doing a real freeze in the future. Once we've like the year period is so that people who get their funds frozen can be like, hey, Luke, please unfreeze my funds and your real soft fork in the future. And like that's the whole point, is just to give them a grace period before and give them a chance to court the king. And
hey, don't freeze my funds. Wait, so
you better ask Luke. If
so does this mean that we're getting a dividend, or what's going on here? What exchanges are on board with this? That's what I want to know.
We might get it.
I want to move to the dividend. Is
I don't think
what exchanges are on board yet?
I don't know. I don't.
Okay. So we're not there yet. So no exchanges are on board that we know of yet.
Unlikely that.
Okay.
Unless
unless
we have a Roger Ver type character who is like really
close,
really exchanging
we're
their
close.
Bitcoin cash.
I would just say, stackers that are listening at home, pay attention. Once we get some exchanges to fall in line with this thinking too, then we got a dividend coming. This is so reminiscent of 2017. This is awesome.
Have you talked about how there's like futures contracts? Like
is that what they're saying? Is that what they're saying?
Well, yeah, Rob created a futures contract.
So Rob came out with like a futures contract.
Which Rob?
Anchor Watch Rob.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so there's a clever way that you can actually detect whether the soft fork goes through or not in Bitcoin script. So like you can create a Bitcoin transaction that's basically a futures contract that says, well,
if I'm on this chain,
it's a bet. Like if I'm going to lock up this Bitcoin, you lock up some Bitcoin, and if the soft fork goes through, you win the bet. If it fails to go through, I win.
Yeah.
So it's like put your money where your mouth is.
But no one's taken the bet so far, as I understand.
No,
I don't think so.
I think he's just gonna get. I feel like he's just like falling into an eternal, just like one up basically, where, and I don't know, but it almost feels like he's just getting played to a point where they're just like, oh, I dare you, oh, I dare you, I dare you, and then it's like eventually he's gonna hard fork, right? Like it almost feels kind of like that, like where like I don't think he recognizes, or maybe somebody's not in his corner telling him like, hey man, like I think they're just egging you on.
Who is in his corner? Like who would be his
Ocean, right? Like Ocean. Doesn't he have
Ocean is this like his company.
Yeah, but
everybody around it, I would imagine.
Yeah, everyone around it.
His advisors and handlers, I would think.
Guida's in on it. I think Super is also pro the fork.
He's Super's pro chaos.
Yeah. it's true. It's true.
We love you, Super.
Those are the people that I'm familiar with, but I don't know what is motivating Luke. The biggest concern, the most concerning thing that I saw was when he started saying that he has to save Bitcoin every few years, which is just speaks of someone who's struggling to think clearly. Because otherwise, when I heard Luke speak about Bitcoin, it didn't seem nonsensical to me. It seemed like he had a clear idea of what Bitcoin was. But when he starts thinking that he is like saving Bitcoin,
interesting.
I'm now I begin wondering how sloppy his
The
reasoning.
mind is a mountain, Keyan. The
That's
mind
what
is
you've
a
been
mountain.
saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you juggle the mountains sometimes.
Sometimes you got to juggle the mountain.
So we were having a conversation yesterday about what was the term mania.
Oh yeah.
And I feel like this is like there's some form of mania going on that started with the op return drama, and it's just never let up. It's only been getting worse and worse. And this is just a part of it.
Yeah.
There's the whole CP angle and embedding viruses on the blockchain and all this other stuff.
I guess all that stuff went away though. People stopped talking about
It's still going.
the CSAM stuff. Oh, is it?
Well,
I don't think any of them big nonce influencers are saying anything about it anymore. It's like they all got like a memo. It's like, I don't know, whatever like Discord they're on or whatever, where they're like, hey, this is not a good look. Let's stop talking about it. It seemed like it disappeared from their feeds. Anyway.
Yeah,
maybe.
The algorithm definitely likes to shove it back in my face.
Oh, okay.
Man, I can't. This is amazing. I had no idea any of this was going on. This is amazing.
Yeah.
I'm just so proud of Bitcoiners and their perseverance, and they really are going after what they really believe in. I truly believe that, right? Like, I think we all agree that Luke is going after what he believes in, right?
I'm not so sure. So like the other side,
But, I mean, he's obviously, at least to me, I think that he's getting like egged on, but like meaning that he's getting like, hey, I dare you to do this. I feel like that's happening to him, but I do believe he actually believes what he's doing. So
He's actually saying.
no, I believe him when he says that. Like, I believe him. I believe him when he says
but he
that.
might. So, but the other side of this,
Or yeah, it could be true, right? He could actually be doing that. We don't know, but in his mind, he knows. The mind is a mountain, Keyan. Tricky thing.
yeah, I don't know. I'm afraid to start talking because it's a prompt for Carr to start talking.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I'll stop talking. I just find it fascinating. This is so cool.
What is the alternate angle?
The alternate angle on this is like a marketing campaign for Knots and Ocean, and like all of this.
Interesting.
The stakes keep rising.
I didn't catch that.
They need a new controversy and a new They just need to stay in the conversation.
Man, I usually come up with those.
Think about how durable this is going to be in like the market's memory. Like Ocean is part of each of these articles that's talking about this controversy. It's like, it's great marketing. They're like manufacturing beefs, and that's why I think no one has taken Rob up. Yeah.
I get that.
Oh wow, yeah, dang, Keyan, that actually is. Damn, that's so right.
Because who really cares about like the industry as a whole? Why would it be important?
But everybody knows Ocean now.
Yeah, and Knots, and like they're
People are making names for themselves.
exactly, they're gaining influence, and I don't think they're destroying the reputations. That we have a short memory, we have like a 4-year memory. Like, oh yeah, that guy was known for some bullshit, but by then a bunch of new bullshit people have come up, and we forget, and then now they have something else they're selling, and they're like, wow, they have like 300,000 followers. They must be really important, or whatever, and we just forget that they were kind of buttholes at one point.
Yeah.
So, gosh,
it is a short memory.
Yeah.
You might be onto something.
Who remembers? I mean, I still have some vivid memories of things that mechanics said.
Yeah.
Off-the-wall things. But yeah, like people are getting. It's a bad look for everybody. It's like if you get sucked into this quagmire.
Yeah, I feel bad for those.
You end up tripping over your own word, even if you're like a smart person. You end up tripping over your own word to get goaded into bad positions that you then have to defend and down on. Everybody's looking to poster, like quote unquote poster everybody else, and clip them and put them online, and then and then at the end of the day, it's like you get all these followers that are like sucked into this controversy, and they have short attention spans. They're going to look favorably on the people that they're rallying behind. So if people have like say something bad, don't forget about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just, I don't know. It's just like it never ends. This thing keeps going. Like, what is going to finally cause this
I think them actually forking is when it's over, if they actually do it. I don't think there's not many. You eventually run out of like escalations. Like it's like an Avengers movie. Eventually everyone's immortal and you can time travel. Like that's the only place. That's the only place you have to go. Is like where.
Oh my God, that's so good.
Yeah.
Thank you, man. Keyan, you won this one.
Okay.
I think you. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think you're right on this one. God,
I'm not sure I'm right, but it
feels right.
It is the possibility that I consider the most.
I never thought about that possibility of it just being a really good marketing campaign.
Yeah.
I mean,
imagine you're running a nascent Bitcoin mining pool,
Yeah.
and allegedly the CEO and founder is paying themselves $750,000 a year. And you have a lot of money to recoup. You're going to start doing desperate things to get your mining pool some more fees. Get some more people mining with you. Create a crusade. Join the crusade. Mine with us. You'll be on the right side of the crusade. That's
incentives.
Yeah.
Rule everything around me. Okay, cool. Let's jump into the number one top story of the week is I executed my most recent Bitcoin trade at a coffee shop register. This is from Scoresby. 20 comments, 5,240 sats. Keyan, what's this?
Yeah, so Scoresby went and used a Square terminal, I think, at Medici's in Austin. They're one of few, I think, or popular ones that have enabled this so far. Have you guys used Square's terminal yet?
I haven't done it yet. I need to look at the map.
Yeah.
I kind of want to, because I want to see where somebody has a Square terminal, but they don't have Bitcoin set up. See if I can set them up versus one that already has it set up. But I know that for them, you say this.
Yeah.
So it's on my list of coffee shops to check out.
Yeah, I think Parker Lewis went there with Senator Loomis the other day. I think that's how I knew that they were. Yeah. We had Big Dog and Big Wig.
Being a barista at the coffee shop, it's like all of a sudden all these like crazy libertarian people start showing up to buy your coffee.
Yeah. I mean, but
we are in Austin.
They don't
even know. What is the barista going to know about them?
Yeah.
Their hair isn't blue. They're wearing a polo. But Senator Loomis is like you cannot detect Senator Loomis outside of her like her little like female suits, like her senator suits. Because I saw. Yeah, it's like a little suit rather than a big suit, like a man suit.
I thought you wanted to say.
I saw her in Bitcoin. I saw her at a coffee shop at Bitcoin 2021. She was like behind me in line, but I didn't recognize her until I saw her on stage. I saw her on stage later. I'm like, oh shit, she was right. And I'd seen pictures of her and stuff, but she does it. You just don't register.
Yeah.
You have like in your memory.
I want to say that I would register.
Really?
Yeah, because I think I've seen her face
enough. But I feel like a face on a screen is way different than a face in person, at least for me.
Yeah,
like
so maybe
my mapping is poor. Like I'm pretty sure I've seen Tim Ferriss in person in Austin here, but I did not recognize him because I only know his Tim Ferriss on screen.
so it was like a maybe it's him, maybe it's not. Yeah,
like it kind of something vaguely reminds me of. Yeah, I think that's what you get with Loomis, but maybe not. I don't know. But anyway, it's live, and you can go. I wonder. I haven't looked at the map yet. I haven't even downloaded. Is it in the Cash App app? Do you guys? I know you guys are.
To pay Bitcoin or
to find the places that you can go.
Oh, the Bitcoin map.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We have our.
My Cash App account hasn't worked in like a year, and I've been meaning to fix it. And just never have. So this is finally going to get me out of my butt to actually get my Cash App.
We have a Cash App specialist over here. Okay. Our Cash App specialist is on sick leave, so cannot report back. But apparently, yeah. So they launched the ability to turn any Square terminal into a Bitcoin accepting point of sale. And then they had then they also launched the ability for these Bitcoin merchants to advertise themselves on a btcmap.org type thing, but it's much nicer because Square already has a network effect, and so they can just like put a bunch of pins on a map from all these merchants. I think they also have some like the ability for you to send from Cash App user to Cash App user, sending fiat, not even sending Bitcoin, but sending fiat over Bitcoin rails, or I think in some cases stablecoin rails. There's a bunch of
On Square terminal or just from Cash App to Cash App?
I think it's the Square and Cash App are the same entity, right? So
yeah, but the terminal is like a different experience. It's like the Square terminal versus Cash App.
But they're like in control of both. So I think you can send them, like if they present you a QR code that's like pay the Square merchant and it's denominated in fiat, you can send them Bitcoin or you can send them fiat. I think if you send them fiat from your Cash App, I think in some cases they use Bitcoin rails for that. And in other cases, I think they use stablecoin rails.
Yeah, so that's like the other angle to this is that they didn't just activate the use of Bitcoin on Square terminals, but the use of stablecoins.
Stablecoins, yeah. Reduce fee fiat stuff. And apparently they're using Solana, which is a popular way to do this, apparently. I'm excited about the merchant map. I'm excited about Scoresby writes in here, like this, the big deal here is that if we can get places where we can spend Bitcoin, then the like banking regime, the like surveillance banking regime, the government's control of people through banking weakens, because now we don't have to go to on and off ramps. We don't have to convert our Bitcoin to fiat in order to live, or convert our fiat in Bitcoin in order to live, because we can exchange it directly with other people who are accepting Bitcoin. And I think so. This is a huge step in the right direction. Yeah.
I'm really stoked about this. I feel like wallets need to catch up now that Square's just like drop the bomb. Like, boom. Now you have all these merchants that can potentially accept Bitcoin. But are there users out there with Bitcoin wallets that have Bitcoin to spend?
That aren't, just other Cash App users.
Yeah, well, Cash App, they like bury the Bitcoin features.
They do, yeah. So, even the point of sale, from what I understand, is like at the bottom of some menu.
To activate it or to use it?
I think it's like, Nick was showing us. Were you there when he was showing us on the Bitcoin Park terminal?
No, when I first used this, I used like a demo version of this at the Bitcoin conference in Vegas. They kind of had a preview of how this would work.
Mm-hmm.
And it was seamless for me. I mean, they showed me a Lightning invoice, I scanned it.
I think once you enable it, it's okay. But I think getting to the point where you do enable it, it's like kind of buried.
Cheers.
Yeah.
So
you
want to talk?
You need like, whoever is that first Bitcoin customer also needs to be able to do the tech support.
Yeah. I've heard a friend of mine calls them Bitcoin Mormons. Where, yeah.
I have a single little joke to add to what you were saying, Topher. You say wallets need to catch up, and I say wallets need mustard.
Okay, that's a dad joke. Yeah.
Cool.
Well, our minds are gonna have to recover from that. Happened.
It's kind of boring.
They are bland.
All right, that's all the top stories this week on Stacker.News Live. We're gonna jump into Wumbo. Should we go Wumble's picks?
It's up to you. You're the producer.
Let's go into Keyan's post real quick, because they're all also Bitcoin stuff. Yeah, what is it? Saylor versus Chanos.
Yeah, I guess this guy started shorting MicroStrategy. It made the rounds a few months ago, and everyone was like, "What is he thinking? Oh, he's gonna get wrecked." He's gonna, because I think like these stocks have MNAV, which is like the asset value relative to the company value or whatever, and Saylor's MicroStrategy was super overpriced, and so this guy's like, that's going to collapse. Like that premium on the Bitcoin that they hold is going to collapse, and so he shorted it, which we've described short selling before, but I don't want to do it again. But he shorted it and he made money basically because Saylor's stock is now below. I think it's trading below the Bitcoin value on their balance sheet currently. Yeah. Now that Bitcoin's price is down a lot, but even I guess but so he basically made money betting against Saylor, which is just kind of, I thought it was kind of fun.
Interesting.
He cashed out already. Yeah. So I think when you short, what you do is you borrow a stock from someone else and you sell it for cash. And then you promise in the future to give them the stock back. So you have to buy it in the future. So if the price is down, you've made money.
So the next one you had was mempool filters are subsidies to miners who ignore them.
Yeah. So this is Scoresby is going through Voskuil's crypto economics book. And I think he's on like chapter 3 now. But Voskuil writes about how he thinks that like secondary fee markets, like transaction accelerators and stuff, don't actually harm Bitcoin security. They do like directly. They do mess with the mining dynamics, but they don't harm the security because it really just means that someone is either accepting a Bitcoin miner is either accepting a underpriced fee or for a transaction to get included in a block, or someone is overpaying. That's what the existence of these markets usually indicate. It's like a subtle point, but I think it's really interesting. And yeah, I wanted to make sure we covered that.
Cool. Let's jump into the most spicy topic this week. Bitcoin lending app Lava quietly shifted its custody model. This is also from Scoresby. Keyan, I've never heard of Lava. What is this?
Oh, well, so it's actually not. This is just one aspect of this story, but the other aspect of the story is Lava is a Bitcoin like wallet that allows you to get fiat loans collateralized by Bitcoin. And they've existed for a few years now. I think they had like a beta launch maybe over a year ago, and but most recently they raised a bunch of money and had a big marketing push around it, and a bunch of Bitcoiners reacted to it, and it caused a bunch of controversy because and then this is one aspect of the controversy, and that aspect being is that they previously billed themselves as a non-custodial service where you hold one key.
Wait, you say non-custodial? Oh, okay.
Yeah, non-custodial, like kind of like an old unchained loan, but in this case they were using DLCs. So
DLCs, you say?
Yeah, they're using
with an oracle.
Yes, that's what DLCs require as an oracle.
Just making sure the stackers at home understand this.
Yeah. So I think the user had one key, the DLC, and the oracle had another key, and then effectively, and then I think Lava had a key.
Sounds pretty straightforward to me.
I think that's how the loan worked before, and then they do some kind of atomic swap onto Solana for stable coins to get you your loan.
An atomic swap, you say?
Yes, that's what I said, and that's how it was. That's how it worked originally. And I guess with this release, I guess they raised like a Series B or something. They actually switched away from the non-custodial model.
Why?
Without communicating it very well to their current customers.
For why though? It was working.
Yeah, Shazan, the founder and CEO, claims that it's because DLCs have security vulnerabilities.
Is that true? Is that true, Topher Scott?
That he is not disclosed. And I think you have a take on this.
Is that true, Topher Scott?
Carr is. Yeah. I know Carr said that you had thoughts on this or something.
Well, I asked him if there are vulnerabilities and DLCs is he planning on disclosing them? Is he planning on filing a CVE?
What's a CVE for people at home who don't understand that, Topher? Why is that important?
It's basically you can officially file that this is a known exploit, and so
Why would you do that for, Topher?
So that other people in the industry can track it.
Oh,
Track, like, this is the exploit. This is when it was first noticed, and then also, like, it's a part of the responsible disclosure. So you're saying, like, hey, this is an exploit that everybody should know about, so that you know how to mitigate it, or at least like there's steps being taken to mitigate this in private, and then there's going to be some.
so it's basically letting the rest of the ecosystem who's also building on DLCs a heads up.
Yeah.
Because when I was talking to him, he said that this was a vulnerability in the cryptography itself surrounding DLCs. It wasn't in the implementation that his company created. It was in the cryptography of DLCs
But
itself, meaning that
elliptic
everybody who
curve,
uses DLCs
elliptic curve,
would be vulnerable.
elliptic curve.
Oh, DLCs, discrete long.
Oh, discrete. Okay, I was just making sure. Okay.
Using but yeah, so I don't know. I mean, I would like to see, like, what is this vulnerability that he's so concerned with.
Yeah.
I don't think it feels like a critical vulnerability in, like, the cryptography of DLCs itself. I think that's highly unlikely. And because there's so many other people that work on DLCs.
They would have found it by now, right? Isn't SuredBits? Are they still around?
No,
No.
they've been out for a long time.
But does it, like, Ben Carmen is like Mr. DLC, isn't he?
Yeah. Yeah,
He
worked
did
at
like a
SuredBits.
couple like DLC workshops at PlebLab. He never said anything about a
He used to work
vulnerability.
a lot on DLCs. Well, no, but I think what Shazan alluded to is that when they were developing this product, which did have a lot, which I think they were developing longer than SuredBits existed, and I think also they had more usage and even a different use case than they did. They discovered a lot. They discovered vulnerabilities that made it not a great option for their product. Is what he implies. I didn't see that he said there were cryptographic.
No, that was what he
problems?
told Topher in private. Yeah.
Okay. But that is I think for most people it doesn't pass the smell test because it most people would have released like a CV. There would have been some disclosure about it. They would have at least, that would be the normal thing to do. It's possible they got so busy or whatever they never had the opportunity to release anything, but that is it. Because the alternative to this is just like marketing speak for why they switched away from non-custodial. It's like, this is exactly what you say during a PR campaign about why. Yes.
Oh my God, critical vulnerabilities. Oh,
We're saving you.
Wow, I'm
Yes.
so proud of Keyan this episode. I feel like you understand the angles to these now. Good stuff, Keyan.
Okay. Well, I'm happy to fill you with pride.
What
Thanks.
bugs me about this the most is that he snuck an update. Through an update, he basically swiped everybody's money.
Really? You don't say. Where did it go?
Well, he moved it out of the non-custodial arrangement, which is not non-custodial. Yeah.
To begin with.
Oh, did he send it to Kraken? Is that where he sent it to?
Well, I think
Interesting.
Kraken is their custodian. And yeah, I think they.
Wow.
So if you take him at his word,
This is a novella.
they find critical vulnerabilities in DLCs. They realize all of their customers are vulnerable to something, an attack of some kind that can lose them their money. So what they do is they release an update coordinated with a huge fundraise that moves all the funds somewhere they think is safer than the DLC contract, which happens to be Kraken. Or some Kraken-related entity. And coincidentally, it's also makes the product much easier to use and much easier to sell. And so that's like just like taking them at their word, which might be the case. I met Shazan several times. I always like Shazan. He doesn't strike me as someone who's like a shady person.
Yeah, I feel like there's we don't know the full story.
Is he the CEO, Keyan, or is he the CTO?
No, he's the founder and CEO.
Oh, so he's making the decisions then.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's
Well, technically, it's his fault. So
yeah, technical founder, very, one of the like a general.
yeah, it's on him, man.
Yeah, I think it maybe just there's might be like a miscommunication thing.
Yeah, maybe he's just
It's also
backlog.
hard to manage this kind of thing. If they did have this, they might. What I guess actually happened is they were developing this product. They released it thinking that it would garner more interest than it did. It didn't, because it's hard to use, all this complicated cryptography and stuff, and the user has to hold keys and stuff, and they didn't get the usage that they wanted to. And then they realized it'd be to the benefit of their product to make it custodial. And so they implemented the switch, and now they're trying to explain it.
But you need money transmitter but you need a money transmitter license to do that, though. Like, that's the whole point.
I'm not sure if you are. It depends on the arrangement. It's possible it depends on the terms of service. It's possible with a correctly worded terms of service, you can custody someone else's funds without KYC in certain conditions, because you're transmitting money to the person themselves. They're not transmitting money through.
Are they out of Delaware? Where are they out of?
The corporation itself is likely formed in a U.S. state. For
Oh,
sure.
okay. Yeah. So it was okay. Well, we'll see how long it goes.
So the funniest part of this whole thing was Corey Swan has been going on like a fucking tear.
Oh, has he now?
On Twitter.
Yeah.
And that's been fun to watch.
It brought him out of his slumber. Well, Corey's an interesting one, because this is where I say there's a short memory. I think everyone's going to have forgotten his recent controversy surrounding Tether, although he's bringing it back up.
Wait, what was the controversy on Tether again?
The controversy on Tether is that they were partnered in a mining business with Tether, I think based in Africa. I actually forget exactly, maybe South America, but they partnered in a mining business, and then now there's the people who are running the mining business from within Swan left Swan, like all of them left Swan and went and joined Tether to run that mining business independently. And they're like, F you, Swan. And then I think Corey and Swan are suing this Tether subsidiary that has their IP in the mining business and stuff. Basically killed their business.
Yeah, he's alleging that they planned this.
Yes.
Planned a coup to take over the business.
Well, yeah, Swan was rising. They they had, I don't know if you remember, but they were public, like Swan's investors who get their investor updates were seeing Swan's revenue numbers and were suspicious of them and posting like, this is bullshit. I don't believe they're making this much money. But it turns out they were this was all like mining revenue that they had in this partnership with Tether. And so when this coup happened, or whatever happened, I don't know what happened, it basically killed Swan's profit center. So Corey went kind of silent. Yeah. And now he's back. He's slaying shitcoiners again. So I mean, you have several lives on social media and in Bitcoin, and you can just come back. You can like kind of destroy your reputation, and you can come back again. You can like rise again. And not that Corey did that, but yeah.
Interesting. A lot of interesting stuff going on in Bitcoin this week.
Yeah, a lot of releases I've noticed.
We're gonna jump into Wumbo's picks. Wumbo's picks. This one says young people wishing to move to a different country within 3 years. What is this?
I think these are European, like states in the European Union, and they did some kind of survey polling young people, and they asked them if they're planning to leave the country, and it looks like a significant percentage of them did. In the case of Ireland, over 50%, the majority of young people there said they were planning on leaving. Or 35% were planning on leaving, and then another 26% would like to leave but had no plans. And you can kind of go through there's like several other European states here, and like even Slovenia, which is on the far end, has some of the least young people looking to leave. They only have a little over 20%. But yeah, this was shared by Patrick Collison, one of the. Can you stop tapping your can? One of the Stripe founders, and he shared it because he's from Ireland and he has an interest in young people doing doing things. And I think he also lives in Ireland now primarily, but
I wish they would have asked what side of Ireland.
yeah, because you've been to Ireland recently.
Mm.
Well, he said the reason why he pulled this up was because he was at dinner with a bunch of Irish young founders and I guess maybe college students, and asked them if they were planning on leaving. A lot of them said they were. He said most of them, all but one raised their hand, and even the one that didn't raise their hand said they had no plans to leave but would like to leave eventually. So this is in Ireland. He asked that, and all of them said it was because they lacked a critical density of people who shared their interests. Like they couldn't find as many people who shared their potentially obscure interests, so they wanted to leave. And I think the other reason was I think it was related to like lack of opportunity or something like that.
Yes, I don't know what side of Ireland is represented by this chart, but the southern side, I spent some time in, and there's a lot of tech companies that moved to Ireland because of tax benefits. I don't know if you remember, it's like charging no tax whatsoever.
Yeah,
So
no corporate tax. Yeah, low corporate tax.
Incorporated in Ireland, and they built some offices there, moved some people in. So kind of like
Apple famously did. Yeah,
because you have like these high-paying tech jobs coming in, but otherwise it's like as a country with like a low median salary, and so so when you say lack of opportunity, I don't know. I guess it depends on like what sector you're in, but there's definitely like a wage gap.
It was cost of living, not lack of opportunity. So cost of living is high, I guess. It's like cost of living and lack of a critical mass of people who share their interests.
Cost of living, I would have to like push back on that. So maybe it's cost of living compared to what the median wage is. Yeah,
that would be. I think that's encapsulated by cost of living. It's like you can't get a wage in Ireland that would allow you to support yourself well.
Yeah.
There.
Okay. Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah. But it applies across Europe, apparently, and perhaps for different reasons. And then Wumbo wanted us to ask asked us some questions about this. He said the percentages in the graph seem very large. What percentage would actually want to leave versus just expressing disagreement with their? I think these. I haven't looked at the details of this study and survey, but I would guess these are people that actually plan on leaving. If a competent person is running the survey, they are going to weed out whether it's someone just looking for a way to communicate that they don't like being in Ireland. I think they actually do plan to leave.
I guess I have a bigger question. Do people just naturally leave European countries just like all the time? Is that like a thing over there? Do they just like hop around?
Well, it is that you are in proximity to other
so
countries.
You just like leave, right? It's kind of like the States where you're just like, oh, I'm just gonna move to
from one state to another. Yeah. Like I had a friend.
Oh, okay.
I had a friend who grew up.
It's not really a big deal then.
In Belgium, who would frequently go to like Holland.
Yeah.
And they would just or like Sox and EK were talking about. They just took a train to a conference that was in another country in Europe. So, yeah. Wumbo also asked, what would cause you guys to leave the USA? Topher, do you have an answer?
Persecution coming after my money.
Okay. Financial persecution. Yeah. Not any other type of persecution.
Yeah, I would just be like a dust cloud. That's how fast I would.
I don't consider. Yeah. For my livelihood. Yeah. I don't consider Texas the United States, so I think that's a. I don't think that. I don't consider. I don't consider Texas the United States, so that's where I feel like doesn't apply to me. But until that happens, where I start feeling like Texas is the United States, then I'll consider something.
So you feel safer in Texas?
100%, not even close. Like I go to other states and I visit other cities in other states, and I feel like the way Nick feels when he comes to like when he walks downtown. Yeah, I love Texas.
Do you think that what is it that makes Texas safer?
Guns and religion and the people are nicer, and there's like a reality here that you can't get any place else on earth, I think, from where I've gone. People are like, well, I think they're in their own reality, but I think here in Texas, and maybe because I just grew up here, so it's just like, yeah.
Okay, but at least some of those things you can get in other states. Like
I'm sure you could, like,
guns and religion, certainly, right?
but not everybody has that. You know, like you can drive to a town and there's a church every 3 miles. I'm not saying that's a good or bad thing, but it really does make everybody think from like a base reality version of what's around us, and whether that's good or bad, at least puts everybody in moral standing.
Okay, so you think?
I think the morals are a little bit more. There's morals in Texas, I would say.
So you think
Probably not so much in Austin, obviously. It's a very liberal city, but outside of Austin, it's very.
So you think the government, if like the USA started, like the federal government started acting a fool, you think like
100%?
you
Yeah,
think Texas would
100%. Yeah,
like
100%.
what is it called? It's like
yeah.
secede.
I don't think it would secede, but I think it would stand up an army of its own, and if it didn't, its Texan citizens would. Yeah.
You'd join the Texas Rangers. You do.
I'm not
like,
saying all that, but I think there would be a united front.
You'd start the podcast for the United Front.
No, there would be a united front. Texans are just built different, man.
I know. I'm just trying to get what is, but I hear what you're saying. It's like you feel like there's enough of an attitude about freedom in Texas that should the United States start encroaching on people's freedoms here, that that Texas as a whole would resist.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. I buy it.
I think that's why everybody likes it. They're like, oh man, I wish I could change this. You guys don't allow porn and you guys don't allow, and it's just like, yeah, why do you think it's great?
I like how decentralized Texas is.
The grit.
It's a massive state,
Mhm.
but if you look on a map, there's little towns everywhere. Everywhere you go, little towns, back roads.
And they're all nice, man. I mean, there's some places where they're not nice, but like, for the most part, I feel like it's a very nice state. I mean, there's some bad cities here and there, right? But for the most part, you'll find a city or a town that you'll fit in Texas.
Yeah, everything's bigger in Texas, even the space you'll fit in.
All right.
Yeah. Well, there's one more question.
More question from Wumbo.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we didn't really answer that one. I'd leave the United States when I wanted to be somewhere else, I guess. Is mostly
Like Paraguay.
I don't know. Yeah, if I wanted to be in Paraguay, but I was in the United States, I'd leave the United States. But I don't really want to be in Paraguay right now. Okay, so I answered. Do you think people answer yes, they are thinking of leaving? Okay, for the people, I think he kind of misphrased this, but for the people who answered yes, have they explored adopting Bitcoin? Is what he asked. And I would guess that's sort of an independent question. The people who are thinking of leaving these countries, these EU states. Yeah.
Well, it says young people, and young people don't have Bitcoin, so that answers that question.
It's true. They've had fewer years to learn about Bitcoin. It takes 10,000 hours, and they maybe haven't been alive that long.
Yeah, so I think that answers that question.
Yeah, but I think he's trying to get at, like, if they were aware of Bitcoin and had Bitcoin, would they still want to leave these countries? Like, if they felt like there was hope beyond moving to another, like, sovereign nation, would they stay? And I would guess they would. It sounds like the reason why you really start seeking out people who share your interests is so that you can advance yourself and maybe make more money and then afford the cost of living. I think those are actually like sort of interrelated, cost of living and finding people with shared interests. There's also, like, of course, fulfillment of finding people with shared interests, but it's mainly like you get like extra powers. It's like you unite with people with shared values and grow.
Yeah, so for me, like one of the things that bothers me the most is taxes, and not just taxes, but that the tax money goes into programs that are very disgusting and despicable and hostile towards me.
Gosh.
And the smaller that loop is
Just
of my
realized Topher
tax
was
money
muted the
going
whole
into
time.
an account.
Oh.
It's okay. It was picking up him from other
Okay,
mics,
I
so
hope
it was
so.
fine. Keep going. You're going. You're good.
But yeah, like so if like living in California, I mean, you could see your tax money directly being deployed against you. And it just made paying that tax bill like just more and more difficult, like on a psychological level.
Yeah.
Because it feels like you really are like a subject.
You're funding your enemy. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're funding your own destruction. Oh, hey, Car. Have you been using skin cream? You look a lot younger.
I have been using skin cream. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, that's nice. Are you gonna leave? What would make you leave?
Well, I
the
was
United
trying to
States?
think. I mean, I'm curious about like living in other countries. So like if I had an opportunity, maybe I would try it. But another thing is like family. So
What if you
that's
could
really
bring
what
them
comes
with
to
you?
mind. If I can bring my family,
Yeah, would you leave?
yeah.
Okay.
Where would you go?
I'd probably go to Ireland.
Really?
Really?
I don't know. I would go
You think you're awesome to wear a kilt?
I don't want to answer that.
It'd be like really hard to sack in a kilt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
True.
especially in like public, you wouldn't want to be hacking a sack in a
Right.
kilt.
Right. I'm getting really good.
Are you getting good at sacking?
I'm getting good at it.
Wow.
I mean, I don't want to speak for Carr, but okay. I was getting the vibe that he didn't want to be here anyway.
Yeah, he looked super distracted the whole time.
So, okay.
Well, I think there's like another. We're supposed to move on now from this. Do you know how to do that?
Oh, what's the next thing, Coop?
Anyway, Ireland, beautiful country, good choice. Definitely a lot easier to live there if you're on a Bitcoin standard.
Okay, because
Oh, I'll do this
why
one.
on a why is there special for Bitcoin?
One thing about
Because then you're insulated from the politics. Politics are awful. Politics are bad.
Okay,
But, you're insulated from it.
aren't they? I thought they were like cool. I thought they might have like a spirit of rebellion, like rebelliousness, because of like all like the IRA stuff and like them getting independence from like the United Kingdom. Or
Well,
that's changed a lot. Is that not
So
true
like
anymore?
Northern Ireland is part of the UK and Southern Ireland is part of the EU. I think I got that right.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so like half of them Brexit.
Yeah, so there's definitely a rebellious spirit. I haven't been there long enough to really understand like how the people think or anything like that.
how long were you there?
I was like for a couple weeks.
Okay.
It's a good
So,
study. Yeah.
but they do have everything in their language, so it's like part of
Gaelic?
Yeah, it's like a certain dialect of Gaelic.
Okay.
But yeah, like so like it's mandated by the government that like all official government documents are also they're in Gaelic and English.
Oh.
So you see it everywhere. I think that's cool. Also like the no corporate tax rate.
Yeah.
But they're in battle with the EU over that because the EU wants them to collect taxes because they don't like, I guess they don't like the situation where all of these companies are choosing to incorporate
There's no uniformity. Yeah.
So they're battling over that. So I guess that makes them pretty independent, even though like
Other things are messed up.
well, other things are messed
There's
up.
like a
they're
lot
party.
of history in all of these like current things that are happening. I think like the relationship between like England and UK is one that you can't really just like state over. I don't know. It's storied history.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of great history in Ireland.
I know.
But the politics are. I mean, it's extremely leftist country politically.
Yeah, I know
You
Conor
should-
McGregor isn't he running there sometime?
Yeah, but he's running for a ceremonial title. It's
Oh,
not really like a title with any real political power.
that's right. They do like different types of governments there, where they have like prime.
But we're gonna look at
ministers.
this right now. So I just made another zine, and it's number 33, and here it is.
Wow, it's
Right on.
Wait, getting into palindromes.
Oh,
That you did with the one that you made about that was you. Remember the plant one? This might be my favorite one since then. I think I want to buy this one.
oh my gosh, we made a sale. Okay. Anyway, yeah. So this is number 33, and I made a post about it. You could check it out there.
Yeah.
One thing about this is like, is this how we're doing that? Okay. I used I used things that you guys told me, and I went and put your very own submissions, made up a lot of what got printed in the zine as just like extra fun material that I like to use. So you can see that.
Actual visual source for it, or did you come up with that?
Well, that's from the post.
Oh, wow.
Keyan's post, this one here. I know, I thought this was really cool, Keyan. I also used this.
Oh yeah.
This bit.
Yeah, it's a 7-set Venn diagram.
And somebody developed this. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah. So this is like
That's pretty cool.
This is a visualization of a 7-set Venn diagram that they use colors for and mixing colors to kind of show where they're overlapping. But we've all seen like 2 or 3 sets in a Venn diagram. This is a 7-set Venn diagram.
So 7 is the amount of colors that are here, because there's
Yeah.
a lot more than 7 things going on.
Yeah, but there's 7.
Oh, I guess because it like exponential.
7 primary.
The
colors.
connections are like exponential from 7
They're
because
not.
of how they overlap.
Yeah, I don't know about exponential, but
I mean, it looks like more than 14.
yeah, no, that may be actually true.
Cool.
I don't know.
I liked it. This was fun. Where'd you find this?
I was just looking for inset Venn diagrams because this is kind of what I was thinking of.
Oh, wow.
when yeah.
Sweet.
Oh no, yeah. 128 color combinations is what you end up with, according to that.
128. Okay.
Yeah. So it does seem exponential, but it
Yeah.
could be. Yeah. All right.
7 to the 4th.
Maybe. I don't know. We don't do math on
Anyway,
this podcast.
we don't do math. I never do math.
This is we can do a separate podcast where you do math.
Cool.
Stacker.News math.
Oh, I actually want to ask you guys, what do you think about this? I put this on the cover. What do you think about this?
Is that a Band-Aid?
I don't know if you went that. It looks really cool.
Yeah, there's like all of them in there. No, but what do you think about this statement here?
We like Bitcoin, but we love freedom more. Yeah, if you have to separate them.
Carr says it's a Gen Z statement.
But so is also the new Predators movie. So there's also a Gen Z movie.
Oh, I'll tweet it. Okay. But yeah, go check out this post and
think Gen
everything
Z is
else
on
I've
with it.
done about the zine. Actually, I've been thinking about that.
Yeah.
I want to encourage, if you're a Gen Z and you're watching, find something nice. Carr says 18 to 27 are watching this, which I imagine he got that from his like YouTube stats. Sweet. I would encourage you, if you're 18 to 27, to find your like the kids in Ireland were saying, they want to talk to people who think like them. So you need to like get off of the corporate platforms for talking to each other and find your niche platforms for talking to each other. One of those is going to be Stacker.News. I would encourage you. Anyway, we're already here, so we know that. But for the YouTube land, it might be important to go to a different channel. What happened?
I think, yeah, it's like you do this. You like to dance with your hands when you talk,
Shoot.
and you kind of. Brought
I guess,
that up.
Carr, you gotta come back now. But I already did.
You gotta burn through 10,000 hours. So
But I already did my bit, so now I'm done.
you're done.
Yeah.
I like this version of Stacker.News.
I'm sorry I messed it up.
No, you're good. It's awesome.
Well, it's unblurred now. So
What's going on?
hello, welcome.
Thanks
back,
for the
Connor.
break.
Yeah, where did you go to? Did you leave
Got some
the
beers.
United States?
Got some beers. I actually think this is an amazing one. I'm gonna buy
Are you
this one.
trying to
I
do it
was
with your
gonna
own
put on
camera?
this app, but there are some.
I'm gonna buy it.
Hairs in
remnants.
there?
Hairs.
Yeah,
Cool.
I would believe it.
So
There's only like 3 in there.
now that we got that one, let's
My
jump
all my hair is kind
into
of puby, so
let's jump into my top
Sketchy,
stories of the week,
sketchy.
Stackers. I just really want to share this. When women build, freedom follows. Meet the hackers of Hack for Freedom. So apparently, I found this out today that Brianna put together. She builds the company Eventoo. It's a really cool. It's a really cool app. But apparently, she did this in Nigeria, where she did a women-only Bitcoin hackathon. I didn't even know about this. And look at all the people that showed up. And the HRF sponsored, but they were able to come together and they were actually building Bitcoin stuff, which is pretty freaking cool. And then she was telling me that and I didn't even know this. So I was really surprised that she was saying that women are intimidated to hack.
Oh yeah.
And this is like some insight that she had. And turns out she was right. But Team Lightning O won. Looks like they had some other winners too as well, but Team BitSave won as well too. Yeah, I just thought it was really freaking cool. Team Bitstra, a lot of really cool little things. But Team Life Drops, as you know, just doing Top Builder, we've seen Hezron and a couple Onions Man, a couple other people come through Top Builder, and they were building projects in Nigeria, and they were working with B Trust. So I had no idea there was even women that were building too as well. So I thought that was the best news I heard this today, because I had no idea there was women Bitcoin builders in Nigeria.
What was the winning project?
I think it was this one here. Team Lightning, yeah.
But what's like the synopsis?
It looks like it's a non-profit open source platform built on Nostr and the Lightning Network that connects global sponsors and local talent through bounties, gigs, and grants. A secure custodial escrow system ensures transparency and trust throughout each transaction.
Lightning.
Sounds like right up your alley, Topher Scott.
Escrow. Custodial though.
Custodial.
Maybe that's legal in Nigeria.
But really cool stuff. I just wanted to share that because I think when you get to talk about something unique like this, crazy, right?
No, it's awesome. It's awesome.
I mean, it's awesome, but I was like, I had no idea this was a thing.
You must have posted this like right before.
I posted it right before.
Yeah.
But look, it happened October 9th.
Why did I hear about this?
I don't know. I don't know. I didn't hear about it either. I'm not on Twitter, so I don't know. But maybe it was on Twitter.
On Twitter.
Maybe it was on Twitter. Maybe it got tweeted somewhere and then it got lost in the sauce. But hopefully,
This is the real alpha, right?
Yeah, this is a real alpha. So I wanted to post it on Stacker.News. Wanted to post on Stacker.News because I felt like this goes into builders territory. Anyways, just want to share that. So shout out to Brianna, the Eventoo team, and then everybody at B Trust, and then HRF for sponsoring this. That's amazing. Keep sponsoring it because we need more women builders.
I mean,
it turns out, like she was telling me, like it turns out there women builders actually want to build. They just don't feel comfortable building.
I'd be happy with just like women in Bitcoin, or like you like knowing a woman. Like that's
yeah.
I mean, a lot of the
they don't
builders,
even need to build.
a lot of the builders that we have in Bitcoin right now that are women,
can do whatever
they're brilliant. So
no, but
I say bring in more.
Yeah, it had to be hard. I mean, I imagine I wonder how hard it was to find female builders.
I mean, there you go. You have any thoughts on this? PlebPoet.
Oh, Jana's a builder. Jana, you built her own website.
I am a woman, and hear me roar.
Do you run with wolves?
But yeah, that sounds like a cool event. And yeah, like I understand the like being intimidated at a hackathon.
Weren't you in a hackathon?
I did participate in a hackathon once before at TabConf, and I found it to be a lovely time. working with the clams guys. Would love to do that again. Haven't been able to catch those guys at well, they were at Startup Day, so maybe I'll see them at Startup Day. But anyway, I think that's a cool idea for like an event. I mean, I think it's cool in some ways, and I think it's like, it's just like anything to encourage people to like build is cool. So yeah.
So, and then the next post I wanted to bring up was this one. Bitcoin Builder Meetup. So apparently, this is like started by, gosh, what's her name? At the Presidio. I always forget her name. Yeah, Haley and Steve Lee, and who else? Well, they started this like builder campaign to like do more builder meetups. And initially it started with Miami and San Francisco. We were already doing Bitcoin Builders Club, but I didn't know they had started that tangentially at the same time. But more and more people are starting to build builder meetups now. This is becoming a thing. There's like a Signal group for it. Vancouver just recently dropped their hat to it. Austin already has their own Bitcoin Builder meetup. So I just wanted to make a post that's like, if you don't have a builder meetup, you should probably think about starting one, because then the next wave of meetups aren't going to be like green candles going up. Sorry, keys. But it's not going to be like those type of meetups anymore. Like those are going, like that's not going to. I think that was a 21 thing. I think that was a special thing. This is going to be more. There's a builder wave happening, and I think it's only going to happen even more and more with AI and stuff. So I just wanted to do a call to action, because I think this is really important that more builder meetups get created, because we need more builders in Bitcoin. There's never been a worse time and good time to build on Bitcoin, but we're severely understaffed. So anyways.
Yeah, we need to inspire new minds.
Yeah. So if you're near a big city and you want to do something, do a builder meetup, Bitcoin builder meetup, and then get with, how do you say your name? Haley at Presidio, because she's like helping everybody.
What happens at a builder meetup?
Everything happens. Like ours is, we're trying to do like a hack and tell before, and then we're trying to do like a fireside. But at the San Francisco one, they're going through like code and they're going through other stuff. Miami's going to be different. Vancouver's going to be different. So you just got to make it work with yours. So there's not really a set design, but there is a GitHub if you're interested. I didn't link it in here. I'll post that after the show. But yeah, there's a builder train happening. Let's do it. The next one is the AI Bitcoin stuff. So I just wanted to bring this on because I thought it was funny. Anthropic's Claude takes control of a robot dog. Did you see this, Keyan?
No.
Well, apparently robot dogs are coming. And not only are they coming, they're alive. Look at this thing.
Whoa.
He can do flips. Don't you want one for Christmas? Look, they're only $16,000.
Yeah.
Only $16,000. Don't you want one? Just walking around in your office?
No.
No?
It's not ready for me. I'm not really an early adopter.
Do you want one of those, Austin?
For that price, I could almost get an H100. I mean, I might just do that instead. That's kind of a dumb joke, but yeah, no, I'm not going to do that.
I get a real.
Trying to say I could get one GPU that can run AI for that price.
What?
I think
What's
there's
an H100?
I think there's AI. I think there's some form of like AI processing being done
like
on
a gamer
the,
meme
on the
thing.
I
dog,
heard you explain that it was a dumb joke, but I didn't.
right? Because you tell it to do things, but it also has to use like its own thinking in order to follow the commands.
I like where you're going with this, because the next story is right where you're thinking, Topher. And we'll go with that right now. So the next story I wanted to bring up, which is named after this show title, is Yann, LeCun, is leaving Meta to launch an AI startup focused on world models. So this was big news. So I'm not sure if you guys know what world models are. I'm almost certain you guys do, because you're smarter than me. But for the stackers at home that might not know what more world models are, Keyan, explain it.
My understanding of a world model is an AI model that has the ability to think about the world kind of as a whole. Like it has they think that LLMs actually create this unintentionally. It's like a side effect of training them is that they develop an understanding of the world in order to be able to just predict the next word in a sentence.
Yeah, they
So
call
that's
it.
my understanding of a world model. Is it's like a very smart model that is what would you
You
call
have to train it on everything. It's like if you dump like the entire internet
it's
into a model, you get a
so it's like a
world
model maybe without a purpose, without an actual
No,
purpose other
so
I just
right.
see like world model as like these are the general models that all the major companies are training.
So if I
so
could
everyone's building.
so if I could interject, I think where they're kind of going with this, and it kind of makes sense. Like there's probably a limited amount of let's just stick with the mountain analogy. There's only so high you can go up the mountain with an LLM. And I think the world model, at least from what this guy, he basically got ousted from Facebook because he wanted to do something completely different and he was shitty on LLMs basically. Read the article. But what for what I understand, world models, it's using spatial technology, it's using like cognitive ability, and from what he describes here, it looks like it's going to have some sort of like what we saw with that dog. It's going to have some sort of like neural engine of a sort that lives on the actual robot itself. So
Yeah.
basically, it's going to have objective reasoning and some sort of senses to it. And then it's going to
so
need
not
it's
like
going
a
to
general
need
purpose model, but like
it's going
a
to
model
need
for navigating the world.
yeah. So like you or me, we like walk around and we see all this reality and we know exactly like, oh, if I hit this, it's going to spill. If I do this, if I smell this, like, but we also have purpose and directive, and we have senses, and there's objective reasoning around what we're doing. And so the world models from what this guy is trying to do is more of that. But they're saying like this is like a decade out. And the only thing that I can understand,
Oh, I see.
the only thing that I can understand is kind of like, did you ever see Ex Machina?
Mm-hmm.
Remember where they put her in a closed environment and they had her like in a black box basically? And she had like some sort of thing and she was talking to that guy because the guy got her in front of a real human. And then he was doing like a Turing test on her.
Yeah.
And then eventually like her directive was just to like escape basically. But what was interesting about that is she was doing all this spatial recognition and she was doing all this kind of world modeling in a controlled environment. And I think that's kind of what, at least my understanding is kind of what he's building is something that has an on neural engine of us or something like that. But how you get there, I don't know. But I think it's freaking cool. Go for it, Austin.
Okay. I think this is marketing BS and framing. Like, okay, what's not BS is the idea that, okay, let's talk about world model first of all.
Yeah,
Already the biggest models, the models that are competing on the very edge, your Claudes, your GPT-5s, they are already world models in the sense that they are absorbing literally well, first of all, they absorbed all of the data that they could get. That's like GPT 3.5. Then they started parsing out some of the bad and useless data. But right, they're still absorbing all of the data they can. And we call them large language models because it's only language. Okay. So already these models are trying to be world models. But what they're speaking to here that's real is that, oh, but we need to give it more kinds of data, visual data, auditory data, spatial data. It's still words.
Yeah.
It's still words. So like, it's like, oh, we're going to train a model just like we were before, but we'll just add new data. That's not interesting. That's just like fancy marketing framing. But then like, I think where this does get interesting is where you embody the reasoning, right? Because you have this LLM, it's making decisions based off like instructions it's given.
It can gather its own data. Is like kind of
Yes,
And
if it's
like
embodied,
evolving,
if it's in that dog, or if it's in even just a sensor.
Some sort of like compute engine, right? Or
Yeah.
some sort of like it's gonna need a
Well,
big
It says developing world models based on spatial data versus text. But like-
Exactly, but spatial data is text.
Yeah,
like it's still it's the
text.
same thing, and it's like it's not because they're talking about world model. The model is the brain, right? what would be interesting or groundbreaking is if it's actually being put into an embodied thing or into a sensor. It's not. They're just like, oh, we're going to put different data into it now and teach it how to parse. Like, you can already teach Claude how to parse any of these data formats, and it can do it very intelligibly. And how does it do it? It does it with language and code. That's how any of these models will interpret it. So it's just like, and maybe that I'm missing something
I don't think
here.
it's necessary. I don't think the visual data is necessarily text. I think in a lot of cases they end up turning it into something that resembles text or tokens. But I think there are new models that actually take text and turn it into images and then feed that into that as the input into the model. So it's like technically when we look, like if I can see an image on a screen, we could say, oh, it's actually text because I can encode it as text if I want to. But I'm pretty sure they don't mean that. I mean, I don't know. Maybe he is just.
Well, but it is getting encoded and decoded as, encoded as text every time. Like the LLM is parsing.
I don't think he's saying that he's using an LLM even. I don't think people who are thinking about or using words like word models and who are running meta stuff and they're thinking they're going to do something different than meta are going to just go and use another LLM. I think he's likely going to be exploring other models that use the input is like is visual data, is sensor data, are things like that. That isn't encoded as text.
Calling them useful but fundamentally limited in their ability to reason and plan like humans.
I mean, we've had other
that's
models
still like
that
I
don't
still
use the LLM
I think your point stands. It's
kind of
marketing.
transformer.
No, I think you're right about the marketing. I think you're 100% right, which is why I fell into it, hook, like sinker. But I think the idea that there's somebody actually now trying to chase after this world modeling, and it kind of falls into the whole spatial computing thing that's coming out next year, right? With like Meta, with Snapchat, with Google. It's why everybody's chasing that robo-taxi. It's why all that is important right now. So it falls right in line with all that kind of money that's being thrown into those sectors.
Yeah, I guess the point that I'm making is the model or whatever the world model is not looking at pixels with eyes. It is not perceiving through what we would consider senses. Therefore, the only thing it can perceive through is data that has been fed through as tokens.
Okay, let me pitch you something though. Like, remember the Wacom tablet? Like, that was X and Y accesses.
No, I don't know what
Do
that's.
you remember that, Keyan?
What?
It was X and Y coordinates. The Wacom tablet.
The Wacom tablet
Wacom tablet
is X and Y coordinates according to car.
Oh.
I haven't looked into the technology in like 20 years, but I would
That's like
imagine that was probably a different input than a sort of data input than kind of to give a pushback to what Austin's saying.
Well, early AI models were visual. Like they
were looking.
LLMs
at
came
pixels.
later.
Yeah. So I don't know.
They're visual, but it's all getting parsed down into
Data.
text.
Data.
Right.
So I think
like
text is,
like classifiers.
So yeah, I'm saying text, but
visual
like all I mean is
information
like it's
into a
characters.
label.
oh, data.
Like a text
it's,
Right.
It's data.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I think I can
I don't-
kind of see like what they're getting at here. It's like, so what was cool about LLMs is that by doing like this simple thing of trying to predict the next word, you sort of build this like model that has this insight.
Yeah.
And we're not quite sure where that insight comes from, like how you go from something so simple like predicting the next word into like having all this deep insight about humanity just through their language.
Yeah.
But like humans are just one animal. There's many other animals that don't have language, but they do have some sort of insight that they glean from just existing in the world. And so is there a way that you can get insight without language?
That's
And then like, how would you approach that?
It's
So
like it could even be four-dimensional because you could be looking across time. Maybe I'm a little fuzzy, but hear me out. It's like
I think this whole segment has been.
there went too many
It's
Pacificos
like
over
the
there.
heptapods in Arrival, where they
Yeah.
think in 4 dimensions.
I don't know. There's some interesting things that you can do because like,
Yeah, it's just a problem that you have to figure out. It's just be creative enough to figure out how to solve that problem. It's not an unsolvable problem. That's what's bullish about it.
yeah.
The idea is what's like, to me, the idea is interesting because it's like that's I think that's the thing there.
It could also just be a marketing ploy.
Sure, but I mean,
We're doing this
I mean,
unique
probably-
thing that
probably
nobody thought of
everything.
before.
but
Give us money.
But it literally is ex machina. Like it's the same. Like you could see a world where it could be a controlled environment with a trash can robot making decisions for himself with the directive and understanding spatial recognition around that controlled environment.
Yeah,
It's basically a Roomba.
I just can't get past Roomba is amazing. Roomba.
Roombas try to build like a spatial understanding of its environment.
I just can't get over like, and maybe this is the stupidest point to have. I just can't get over the point that's like, yeah, you can give it a sensor that is a camera. You can give it a sensor that listens, but the brain, the model is parsing data. And so, right. And then the only question is, how does it parse? How does it chunk? And how does it weight that data? Right. And does it use any additional tools when I give it spatial data, maybe before it just takes that into the model, it'll run a tool to like simulate the space in like a software environment and try and have a more intelligible model of the spatial data. Right. But guess what? Still,
it turns into text.
It turns into text. And then it's like the model is still doing the same thing. You're just like pre-processing it a bunch and then giving it different kinds of data and teaching it how to pre-process it. But it's still just doing the same LLM thing. Give me the tokens, I'll predict the next
So
ones.
one of the stackers posted this inside the show notes, and I want to read this later. But
here we go.
Saying world models are an old idea in AI mounting a comeback, and let's see if I can find it. You talk. Okay.
Stacker's got to hear you.
This was in the show notes. Let me see if I can find it. Somebody talk while I find this.
Well, I don't know what to say about these things because I don't really spend a lot of time on this stuff, but I think not everything boils down to an LLM. I think is maybe something that's like resembles a neural network that has a lot of layers. I think that maybe that is generically what it boils down to, but we could also boil our brains down to that more or less. These models are attempting to model our brain. So I just don't get the point where it's like, it's only data. It's like, well, we are perceiving only data and only processing data. By the time the light that hits our eyes gets into our brain, like it's pretty easy to imagine that just as data. So it's like why I don't get why that's the point. You know?
Well,
Because they're not doing anything new. They're still taking in data and predicting the next token.
So this is where he says right
I
here.
see.
This is what clued me into the thing. Today's generative AIs appear to learn bags of heuristics, scores of disconnected rules of thumb that can approximate responses to specific scenarios, but don't cohere into a consistent whole. Some may actually contradict each other. It's a lot like a parable of the blind man and the elephant, where each man only touches one part of the animal at a time and fails to apprehend its full form. One man feels a trunk and assumes the entire elephant is snake-like. Another touches a leg and guesses it's more like a tree. A third grasps the elephant's tail and says it's a rope. When researchers attempt to recover evidence of a world model from within an LLM, for example, a coherent computational representation of an Othello game board, they're looking for a whole elephant. What they find instead is a bit of a snake here, a chunk of tree there, and some rope. So I think in that scenario, it kind of makes sense, Austin, that the LLMs aren't going to be able to grab everything. It looks like it's going to be a big part of it, but I think this world model is a idea worth pursuing. That's at least that's where I come on it. Basically, is what I'm saying.
I mean, I feel I just once again I just don't see the differentiation. Like I can do the Othello game with an LLM, and then what would I do is I would take the best large language model and I would pre-process the data. I would give it a framework for looking at the data as a whole picture. Like this is just how you have good results with LLMs is like, I'm going to give you a narrow but full scoped model of the world, teach you how to perceive it, and then give you data and kind of test you in that world. Like all they're saying is like, oh, well, if I ask Claude about this random principle and then this random principle, it'll contradict itself. It's like, yeah, but you can give Claude or ChatGPT, like you can go do the pre-processing it to give it a world. Right. Like basically my argument, I think you could turn Claude or ChatGPT into a world model and then we wouldn't be able to tell the difference between my vibe, pleb hacked world model and then Meta's world model.
Really, you think if like someone went about to create a world model and created a new architecture and which was distinct from LLMs, they couldn't produce a world model more efficiently that had greater resolution, better predictive power, etc. Like obviously I can't imagine you think that LLMs are like the terminus and there is going to be nothing better than an LLM out there and everything reduces to an LLM.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
Which that's what I would be looking for is like a whole new architecture. It's like,
well, I think
here's an architecture that takes into account a broad set of data and doesn't do the same kind of weighting that happens in like your regular neural net.
Well, I would guess someone who's at the bleeding edge, leading at Meta is doing such a thing, right? Like,
no, they don't know any more than me. I'm just
yeah,
of course, like absolutely, and like that's what I would be looking for. But like, I've been hearing about world models for the last 3 days, and I'm like, okay, but what's the thing? I'm waiting to hear the new thing, some acronym or some new training process or some new.
I think they're probably seeking it and they don't have it yet. And
I think
that's
they're researching it maybe.
Yeah.
Well, so there's already a lot of research into this, and I think it was done with video games. Like video games had a certain type of algorithm that they would use to build models that are different from LLMs. And they would do this through it's called like a genetic algorithm with a fitness function. And the fitness function would be like whether you pass the game or live or die within the game. And so through many iterations, you could train a model to learn the game and understand the game world. Yeah, so it understands like a model of the world that it's living in. But I mean, but it's based upon inputs and outputs. And like, you can't just like you can beam the whole game into the model as an input, but at some point it's too much data. Like you're just not going to get a good output. So you have to refine it down. Mm-hmm. And once you start refining it down, you start labeling things, you start classifying things, and then you get into like using text to where you have these text representations of larger concepts in order to refine the model and actually get a better output out of it. So,
and look at what OpenAI was doing in 2018 and 2019. Like very, very hard. I think that was GPT-3. They were working on like, what is it? League of Legends and like all of these very complicated MOBAs and building models to play with it.
Well, they even have like 3D worlds where they simulate the physics of a real world, and then they put the avatars in the world that are run by like that are being controlled by a model, and seeing how they perform, how they interact with each other, how they interact within the world. So it's not like this hasn't been done before. And so there's a lot of models that are trained just through spatial data, whether it's like real or virtual. Mm-hmm. So I guess, like what is like the new thing that they're doing? Or they are like this isn't a new concept. So like, what are they?
Yeah, what's the new paradigm that is better than an LLM? I think that's like Austin's point distilled, right? Like you haven't seen evidence of a new paradigm that is better than an LLM that would produce a different result.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm ignorant. I'm ignorant to it, and I'm ignorant to a lot of like this stuff that's going on in the AI world. But I have a very simple model for how this stuff works, and I feel like people are overcomplicating it, and when they overcomplicate it, they lose the fact that it's like we have a neural net with weights. It's just predicting the next token. And that's still, we can talk about training processes and data sets and human reinforced learning and all the fancy shit they're doing to make those models better, but that's what the best model in the world is still doing. That's what made AI blow up with GPT 3.5. It's really been, at a high level, it's the same thing. So, yeah, I don't know.
Good stuff. I knew this post was going to be a good conversation. That's all the show we got today, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to jump into, we got a new micropayment engine. What is this, Keyan?
Oh yeah, I talked about this a while ago, I think, but basically I redid Stacker.News' guts. We had to redo a lot of stuff for the non-custodial switch, and a lot of it was hacked in, and this basically reboils it into a coherent stew of code that does everything that we want it to. That's the best I can That's a stew there, and you see the middle. That's where it's all mixed up good. And
Wait, what is that? Hold on, what is that?
it's a 7-set Venn diagram. So, like most Venn diagrams are like 2-set Venn diagrams. That's a 7-set one. But I use that to that's how I kind of think of requirements, like software requirements. Is like when you're designing a system, you have all these requirements, and those are like different colors. And then the overlap is like the thing you end up building because it meets all the requirements. Yeah, but that's basically what this new system does. Is it handles all of our non-custodial stuff, our custodial stuff. It handles, the determining if a payment failed, determining if it exceeded, retries, blah 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 blah, and then all the side effects that you would normally expect of anything you do on a website. Yeah, so it does all that, and then does a bunch of accounting. You can actually go to your statistics.
You've been busy.
That took several months. It was a pain.
Oh, what am I going to
How
see
big
here?
is the PR? Do you remember how many lines?
With tests, which I just vibed, and the migrations, I would guess it's 0 net lines of code. Actually, that would be my guess. I need to actually do the measurement of it, but it was 15,000 lines.
Hey, that's
Yeah,
the
but
Bitcoin
I would guess
ecosystem right
0
there.
net.
That's the Bitcoin ecosystem.
Yeah, if you click on one of your, go up a little bit, go to one where it has a lot of entries on the right-hand side. See that one there, AR, that one, click on that. So if you scroll down.
Whoa, dude, you did this?
Yeah, so scroll down so we can see it.
That's as low I can go.
Huh? Oh, it doesn't go any farther down?
Yeah.
Command minus.
It might break it. It might crash everything.
Oh, okay. Anyway, but yeah, so this is like all the, this is all the stuff now. It's like very
cool.
fine accounting detail.
Look at you.
Of everything that's happening and where money's going and coming from.
Finally.
This is for a post.
This is for
A transaction.
This is for a transaction. So this
That's
is
cool,
man.
man.
When he posted this, he
Finally.
paid this much with CC.
I always wondered that. I
much non-custodial.
always wondered like what were you doing back there in the back room.
Yeah, and
Now
so
it's
What's
good
the
to
red
know.
thing?
the red thing is a non-custodial payment.
Oh, wow.
So he made these. He paid with a little bit with Cowboy credits. He had a little bit of Cow credits. He had a little bit of reward sats, probably from his territory.
This
revenue.
is awesome.
And then he paid a small Lightning invoice. And
Is that
then,
right here?
That's all the way to the right. The Lightning one.
Oh, so the inputs are at the top.
The inputs at the top, the outputs are at the bottom, and you can see the split went to rewards.
That's really cool,
and the
man.
split went to the territory that he posted it at.
So the green was that already in his wallet?
that was reward stats. So that was like either
reward.
territory revenue or from rewards that he had.
So this is like from what we could see, 3 inputs, 2 outputs.
3 inputs, 2 outputs, but we
So-
can have potentially 7 outputs. I think is the maximum we can have because you would have to you would have to do 5 forwards on your post.
How
And then
far
it'll
does it go
to
back
it
to?
would go to
when
the
you,
rewards pool, and then it would go to the territory.
how
founder.
fast does it go back to?
That would be 7.
Go all the way back.
Yeah, but it can have in outputs really. But the main point is like all of this is the detail is very high, like and precise to the millisat. So that we can do really we can start messing around with the incentives a lot more reliably because we like have this much detail to kind of fine tune.
That's cool, man. I never looked at the statistics stuff.
Yeah, a lot of people, it also keeps a running tally of like the effect on your balances and stuff. But
Look at that. Shows when I'm awake and stuff.
So do you, when you are invoiced,
it's usually when I'm on Stacker.News.
does it spend the Cowboy credits first? Like first it'll spend your Cowboy credits,
and then whatever, yeah.
then your
That's
wallet
cool,
balance,
man.
and then whatever's not covered, it'll invoice you for that specifically.
Yeah, you don't pay it, then it'll refund the Cowboy credits and
I
the
just wondered how much I
Yeah.
spent here.
so it's kind of
Oh,
yeah.
look at that.
It
It's
was
a lot.
It was a lot.
Spent a lot this week.
But it's actually pretty manageable.
Looks like I
Like the
stacked
code
more.
the code
Spin count.
is not too is actually not too complicated.
Cool.
Surprisingly, but
That's really cool, Keyan. I like this.
yeah.
This
It's
is
mostly
really cool
it's mostly a
stuff.
parody with what the product. It's actually not that exciting because it's mostly a parody with what the product was before.
Now I see why it's a Venn diagram.
Yeah. But the main point is like this will allow us to do a lot of the things that we already planned. Like how do we allow you to cross post between multiple territories if 3 territory founders need to be paid?
Oh, now you know how.
And yeah, how am I gonna we have to do all
You're
these
laying
crazy
the
splits on
foundation first
payments.
before you're doing
And,
the
yeah.
Look
And,
at you.
and maybe all those splits are non-custodial.
You're laying the bass and the drums before you're putting in the.
Now you're ready for being a Hollywood accountant.
Yes. I mean, who knows if the crazy stuff we want to do lands, but we'll at least get to be able to do it now without losing people.
This is cool stuff, man.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah, that's it.
You're like revolutionizing royalties without even.
Yeah,
realizing
technically,
it.
yeah. Yeah, go for it.
I think this is less of a call to action to Keyan because he's just not this kind of guy. But, you know, we're the Bitcoin designers. Like, this needs to be covered. I think this is really, really cutting edge, interesting, both like UI and the way that you're solving your problem with Cowboy credits, and then the way that you account for it all. Deal with like royalty payouts, like Topher's saying, but we're also dealing with Lightning. We're also dealing at the limits of where Lightning it goes from custodial, basically credits on a platform, to non-custodial, real wallets, real money movements. And I don't know, that's really cool. Like, I see lots of like, I don't know, Bitcoin designers like, look at this stupid new transaction element on this wallet you've never heard of. And it's like, bro, Stacker.News is out here shipping like some true 0 to 1, you know, I don't know, transaction insights and accounting. I don't know. I just feel it feels really powerful, and it feels something about it feels generic, even though I know it's very specific to Stacker.News, but like that I could steal all your code here and like solve a big problem in the world.
You could certainly steal the design of the software, like the concept of a state machine dealing with Lightning payments and then doing a bunch of crazy stuff on state transitions. That is definitely something that could be taken and applied widely, but you know, it's just a state machine doing weird stuff with Lightning payments.
Yeah.
But
Wait, I thought we were separating money and state.
When will
Not that kind of state
we
machine.
see like a separate line here for drive chains?
Oh, we gotta hire Vake. Once we hire Vake,
I was waiting when that was gonna land.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Anyways, and
But I mean, technically, with it not being on there, you are representing drive chains.
yeah, I mean,
Drive
we're doing
chains
the
don't
best we
exist.
can to represent drive chains. There's just no usage and no money in drive chains. So,
dude, that was so funny. Like, he put you in the I didn't even understand that meme. That's how, like, I didn't understand what that meant, man. What day was that in the saloon?
that was the 8th, maybe. If you go back just 2 days, I think, because we had a massive the saloon didn't get reposted.
I actually liked the saloon when it was ballooning up like that. Was
So
it
did
this one?
most people. Everyone said they liked it. It's the one with like over 300 comments.
Yeah, I enjoyed the saloon when it was ballooning up. Oh yeah, this is the one that Paul Stork posted.
Yeah, he likes to hate on Lightning.
He said Lightning sucks. In the middle, he threw Stacker.News in there. I didn't understand. What does that mean? What is he saying there?
He's saying that dumb people use Lightning.
Oh, is that what he's
Yeah,
saying?
dumb people think that they should use Lightning, and
Well, why did he lump you with the rest of these people for?
Because we all use Lightning.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
I'm surprised he elevated me to,
Yeah, I know. He like put you in the same.
which I'm thankful. I'm generally.
I mean, I think it's a good thing when you start getting
is or
slandered.
isn't
Yeah.
satire these days.
Yeah.
But I think we were early. I think he's familiar with us when we first started. He's been attacked.
Did he say hi to you at a TapConf or no?
I did see him at TapConf. He got off an elevator, and we were standing right there.
Did he say hi to you?
And we were all lost together. No, I think he was buzzing, but he was friendly. He looked friendly. He was hanging out with Vake, I think. Him and Vake are friends.
Why did you choose the most
and then you put
successful Lightning
and-
implementations of Lightning?
and then you put
to be on the
and then you
mid-curve?
put drive chain users over time,
He
which
says even
is
those are for dumb people.
0. I can't believe no one uses drive chain.
It's
Yeah.
vaporware. It doesn't exist.
I think it does. I mean, I think he's implemented it. I just think no one's running the fork. He hasn't successfully got anyone to run the fork. You think or hasn't developed it at all? Like hasn't.
Well, it's. I mean, it needs to be adopted in consensus.
Yeah.
So it's like the Bitcoin blockchain doesn't use drive chains.
But
at
why,
all.
but what's
So-
the reason somebody would use a drive chain though? Like, I don't even understand that.
It's like a
part.
separate ledger.
Like, I can understand why people would use eCash, but like, why
that
would you use
settles
it?
on the main chain?
But when would I ever do that?
You would do if you wanted like Bitcoin to have either different functionality with, very similar UX to on-chain Bitcoin and inherit the security of Bitcoin's network because it's getting mined by Bitcoin's miners. That's kind of the idea behind drive chains. But there's, there are peculiarities about what it does to mining incentives and what it also means for the people who are putting their money in.
Sounds like a liquid competitor or something.
It is. It's more of a sidechain thing, but it isn't wrapped. Like I don't. The Bitcoin isn't wrapped, is my understanding. They do lock it up in some kind.
Yeah, you have to change consensus so that there's this time lock that locks up the Bitcoin, and so it's like an actual opcode.
Yeah, it's a stupid name. It's a dumb name,
and it holds it for like
drive chains. That's a dumb name.
I think if they try to rob you, it's like 6-month lockup or something. Because like 51% of miners they can like collaborate to rob you. 51% of miners, I think, of the sidechain can try to rob you, but then it gets locked up for 6 months. And then I guess the security model is such that you can like fork out of that.
Oh, like what?
Drive
Like
chain.
Like there's a whole rabbit hole you can go down with minor incentives around drive chains.
So let's jump into the YouTube comments. This was the first one. I'm trying to figure this out. Don't they actually provide your keys? Then how don't you have control of it? This is from Carlos de Contra. He was asking about the Wallet Satoshi video that we did, where one of us said something about not providing keys. I don't remember who said that. Probably you, Keyan.
Yeah, so they might provide.
But he doesn't. He's trying to figure this out. He goes, "What do you mean?
If they don't provide, or if they provide you with keys, you don't control your money." Fundamentally, you're going through Spark if you're using Wallet of Satoshi, because how they provide non-custodial stuff is they're using Spark's state chain, and so really you have to unless you have the exit transactions for your money in Spark state chain, you have to ask Spark for permission to get your money out. That is my current understanding of the dynamic there. So even if you have those keys, mean that you can leave Wallet of Satoshi's wallet, and if Spark lets you, you can still spend your money. But really, you're still in a relation. You have a mandatory relationship with Spark unless you have your unilateral exit transactions, which you most likely don't have if you only have your key.
Yeah, it's like Lightning. You need the channel state.
Yeah, you need some state. It's unlike channel state, you don't need all of it. But you do need
the latest state.
Yeah, you need the latest state, which I'm not even sure. I would guess Wallet of Satoshi might not even have it. They might be fully trusting Spark.
So
I don't know. I
so
think
he does have control over, or he doesn't, because he just needs a straight answer here.
No, they gotta be saving at least the latest state. From Wallet of Satoshi, or even from
I think he's just asking a straightforward question. So can he withdraw the sats?
Oh, you can withdraw the sats.
I think that's what he's asking.
Yeah, it's similar to Lightning. Like as long as you have the latest state, you can just
withdraw, right?
Exit. Yeah.
And then he backs up with an email address.
Yeah, it's more nuanced than I think we're trying to reduce it to. So it depends on what you mean by control. Do you have control under any circumstance?
I think he's just trying to. Yeah, I think he's just trying to use it to pay for.
You have control, like you have control of your Bitcoin when you have the seed phrase to your Bitcoin. No.
So maybe get a coin card, or CoinKite wallet, and then do it that way. But Lightning, do something else if you're really serious about your privacy and sovereignty.
You definitely don't have any privacy.
Definitely don't have privacy. but if you want to do some cool stuff, use that if you want. But yeah, I think that's what he was trying to get at. Is like, what did y'all mean by that? Cool. The next one was from Vake. Intellectual property should be abolished. Wow, this was on the copyright thing. What do you think about that, Goob?
I think that's fair. When I was really into this stuff, when I was like anarchist libertarian, did a lot more, spent a lot more time on the philosophy of that stuff. Most of what I read on intellectual property, like the research on intellectual property, suggested that as much as we think intellectual property allows people to benefit from their inventions, it kind of like stifles other inventions and ends up being a wash in terms of the benefit to society at large. Because like a lot of what people say in defense of intellectual property is that there's like, when we give people intellectual property and they can defend it, they are incentivized to create new things, and therefore, because they can get rich from it. But if we don't have those guardrails, then we won't have those inventions at all because no one will be incentivized. So, but apparently they've done studies to the extent that they can do studies on these things and shown that when we lack intellectual property laws, it doesn't really change things because we actually benefit from the lack of intellectual property, and that ideas kind of diffuse more, and they can get, more inventors can base their inventions on them. And so, yeah, I agree that I think intellectual
When
property
did they
is
get
bullshit.
invented? I guess.
Bullshit. And when did it get invented?
Yeah, no,
I would guess Industrial Revolution is when we
Okay.
started.
But did that exacerbate everything or slow everything down? As far as like the amount of
What I'm saying is I
innovation.
think it probably didn't. It probably helped in some ways and probably hurt in some ways, and it's probably a wash. Or the most I think we can say is that it's a wash. Like either way, it would have gone about as well as far as like the output, as far as like the benefit to society, as far as something like would manifest in GDP or something.
Yeah, I don't really know the answer to this. I feel like there's a correct answer. I just don't know. So I don't have an opinion because I'm not informed about it. It'd be interesting to see like the scenario where it played out the other way, like during the Industrial Revolution, kind of like a Philip K. Dick novel or something.
Well, imagine.
But I'm not going to go out and say it should be one way or another because I don't know.
Yeah, I'm just sharing my experience with it, looking at it from one perspective, which is the anarchist perspective, which would be fuck this shit. Is the general anarchist perspective. But you can imagine like the sticker that you want to make. Maybe you wanted to sell it. Maybe it's the sticker of the dog.
Line, Bart.
The sticker of the dog.
Say the line, Bart.
The sticker of the dog, like that is intellectual property. Perhaps
you're making Janice so upset by bringing this up.
Like maybe Disney would come after you.
She doesn't like us talking about this.
Or the dog owner would come after you, and they would prevent you from selling that sticker and making money from it because it's like their intellectual property. And so you can imagine you'd be free to effectively steal
for the love of the game, Keyan.
Other people's art, or not steal, but borrow. What might be more accurately called borrowing.
So we got this from the Fountain. Pleb Dev, what's up? Zap. That's from Blockchain Boogie. Juan Jeremy is hilarious. That's from Blockchain Boog. Ha ha ha. Coop costume turned on video in Fountain. Okay, Boog. And then Undisciplined said 9 hour days per pay period car. 81 hours every 2 weeks. Remember that post where it was like 9 in China?
Yeah. I remember we couldn't figure it out.
We couldn't figure it out. Undisciplined smart enough to figure it out. And then Undisciplined also said Salute Shorts was great. He remembers Salute Shorts.
Oh man. That's
you remember that too.
Past.
You remember that too.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
TV show.
So Keon's the only one that doesn't remember that.
Was it Camp
on we hold you in our hearts. And when we think about you, you make me wanna fart. Yeah. It's a great one. You're going to the top Cowboys, baby.
We didn't do this last time.
Yeah, I keep forgetting. Yeah, there you go. Top Cowboys. Keyan, Undisciplined, Blockchain Boo, Gray Ruby. Wow, I didn't realize Undisciplined got to number 3 already. Yeah, go for it.
Wow, Sensei's been really.
I would love to give it up for Kyoto Sensei, or however we say your name, but we love you and appreciate you, and we see you.
He is a Singaporean teacher.
He tells us everything about Japan that we want to know. He tells us everything about grammar that we want to know.
His book reviews on children's books.
He's intentional about like being happy and present in the moment, and I appreciate that. Anyway, shout out to you.
What does stacking since 104.755 mean?
It's their first item, the item number. It's
our
monotonically increasing item ID.
No, Topher is like Vake. He just comes. He just knows the show.
Yeah, I just every time I open up my Stacker.News app, I'm just logged in anonymously and I just let it rip.
So you got Scoresby 117, Public Enemy, End of the Mic, Kepford, Justin Shocknet, Satwise, Aardvark, PlebPoet.
It actually might be a bug that might be showing things like
Scroogey. Scroogey's been making he's new, right? Or no, I guess he's been around for a while. Oh wow. I keep seeing this zombie thing. What was the zombie thing? I don't see it anymore. What was that?
The zombie, yeah, that was a game that we had over Halloween. So you, if you hadn't posted in 36 hours or got zapped by someone who was infected, you would turn into a zombie.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And then Simple Stacker actually submitted a cure. It submitted a cure as a PR. And
Did they make a post about this? No one made a post about
That's so
this.
cool.
That is cool. Yeah, he submitted a cure as a PR. He like he was because he was trying you could keep yourself from getting infected if you had posted like within a certain hour time frame, like every 6 hours.
But
or
everybody
something.
got
That would
infected. I got
decrease every
infected
day.
too.
Like your risk of getting infected increased every day. And so he said he set an alarm to wake himself up in the middle of the night to make sure he would stay immune. And then in the meantime, he developed a cure and submitted as a PR, which is pretty cool.
So like, what was the cure?
Oh, the cure was if someone themselves was not yet infected and they zapped you, they would basically inoculate you,
Wow.
cure you.
Just like they did in.
Oh, interesting.
Wow, because they were.
So then eventually, like, there were only 14 people who were not zombies.
Really,
and
that's how wide it spread.
It spread really fast, and then
You were zombified too.
I was zombified like within the first day, and only 14 people were left. I merged the PR for the cure. I think within a day or two, it was like the majority of people were cured.
Oh, so if you're a zombie, you could be cured?
So we
You
should
could be
do a
cured.
recap
Yeah,
on that.
That was part of how you could.
I mean, I guess we got one right now.
Wow.
We want to do some. We're thinking of doing something where it's actually more of a war, where you could get reinfected, and so it would just be back and forth, and you can kind of imagine.
It didn't like change your experience in any way, right?
No, there was no.
I definitely didn't like seeing a
change other than
zombie
you had
next to me.
A badge.
I didn't like seeing
Yeah.
the badge next to me though.
That's so cool.
I prefer not to have it. Make the general store, man. I've been saying it for 14 years at this point. That way I can just buy the potion.
I can only do the ideas that you give me are sometimes a lot of work. So we'll release one. We'll have
A general store.
general store will come eventually.
Every Cowboy West thing has a general store.
The general store will come eventually, but there are other ideas that you gave me in year one that I got.
Okay.
I still got to.
Okay. As long as you got
we're
the
getting closer to our
socks.
back.
We got socks at 48.
socks.
When is his release coming out?
It should be. He said it's pretty
this?
much done. He's mostly cleaning it up, so I would guess next week we might ship it. I still need to QA it. It's a lot of code, but 2 weeks TM. We've been saying 2 weeks TM for about 6 weeks on that one, but it's an application within an application, like making a really good editor. He's basically adding like Google Docs inside of Stacker.News. So
This is an electronic gem.
working on a WYSIWYG.
Oh.
Yeah, which is very tricky.
Yeah, like what is the benefit of doing that though?
For people who don't understand Markdown.
You forced me to understand, Mark.
But you're gonna understand WYSIWYG?
Oh yeah, well, WYSIWYG is what you see is what you get. So anyone who can click buttons on a computer screen can use a WYSIWYG.
Yeah, there it goes.
But then it breaks.
It
It
can be
always inevitably breaks.
it can be buggy, but it's people would prefer that over Markdown that breaks when they like don't understand Markdown.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, I was jamming out.
I'm sorry. I want to ask a question. Something that I've noticed is, I'm trying to do subscript and it just like it doesn't work anymore.
Subscript doesn't work anymore?
Yeah,
When you do the sub tags?
when I do the tags, it doesn't, and neither does super.
Are you spelling out sub?
No,
Are you
I mean
s-
SUP,
Okay.
and then open, close.
I saw Socks was using it today in the saloon. So it still works in some contexts.
I mean, I'm going to the docs, the markdown, and I'm like, am I doing it right? And it's okay. So it's
You were like sighing while you're like as you were saying that sentence. I feel your pain.
thank
I'll
you.
look into it.
Okay.
This is a
you.
real live pleb bug report.
Yeah.
Wow, that was live. That's all the stuff that we have today on Stacker.News Live. Keyan, what are you doing this weekend?
Oh man, I got so many plans. I was thinking of going mini surfing. It's like mini golf, but for surfing. Yeah.
Mini surfing.
Yeah,
Like
really
you're
small.
inside of a room with the wave machine.
Yeah, something like that. Really small waves, really small board. and I'm just making up stuff.
I knew he was.
I
I knew that's why I was like,
know.
not biting.
I
was
wanted
not
to come up
biting.
with something better, but that was more believable. You believed me last week.
I
when
believe
said,
you with the rabbits, and now
Now you never believe
non-belief.
anything I say.
Not believe.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go for it.
Here's my suggestion for something you could do with your weekend. Light a candle in your office or something.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of smelly.
Oh, okay. What does it smell like?
Like maybe you had some good food in there or something, and it's like been a day, just kind of sitting out.
I did have a hamburger
Okay.
in that wrapper in my trash that was in there. That's probably what
That's
smelled.
it.
But you know, it's gotta.
You've been
Thank
in
you,
your
thank you,
office
thank
too
you.
long, coding up transaction diagrams.
It's definitely got a funk in there. I'll probably have to burn some sage, really, because it's like there's like a spiritual funk and a smell. How about you guys? What are you guys doing? What are you guys-
Plebsgiving tomorrow.
That's right.
Plebsgiving's tomorrow. So
forgot about
Johnny's making 2 turkeys and some sides. I just texted him. Everything's according to plan. Me and Topher went last week to get some drinks,
Oh yeah,
and we have a lot of liquor.
You sure we have any left?
bar is stopped.
I mean, me and Jana were
Not even
drinking
working
this, so
on it, bro.
yeah, we'll have some. And then yeah, that's what I got going on tomorrow. Like I'm making a ham. So
Yeah, I was
Topher.
thinking of making a ham too.
oh, are you really?
Yeah,
You want to compete?
I'm just gonna start making hams just so.
But it should be fun. I mean, we have a lot of people coming. I'm inviting everybody, so it should be a lot of fun.
Is it a potluck or?
Yeah, we have a sign up form.
Oh, okay.
Where's the sign up form?
I put it on Slack.
All right, let's go. I'll bring
Topher, what are you
something.
doing this weekend, Topher?
Plebs giving.
Oh, wow. There you go.
I'll have to cancel my mini surfing.
Jana, what are you doing this week? Are you paddling? Paddleboarding? Oh. Did you go to the book festival last week?
No,
Oh,
I'm working another wedding.
cool.
Dude,
'Tis the season.
Oh, well, maybe I'll say this later. Never mind.
Oh, it's
I don't want to dox
now we're stuck.
Oh, okay.
in
Yeah.
suspense.
We can't talk to anybody. But there you go. You have to wait till next week to hear that. I think that's all I got. You guys got anything else before we let go of this?
Oh, we're sub 100K. We haven't even talked about that.
oh right, yeah, we're all poor now.
We're all in the dumps.
Yeah, our MNAV is very low,
Yeah.
and yeah.
All right, snackers, have yourself a great weekend. Go out there and make friends. And Keyan